This is the slave population in the United States. Notice in 1800, at almost 1 million slaves in the United States. Now remember, only 193,000 from the beginning of them bringing them here, over 100 years. But remember that from 1800 to 1866, that only 100,000 slaves were brought. But look at the number, 4 million slaves. Where did that number come from? Now, another thing is this, is that we have to realize that 2/3 of those numbers were African males. 1/3 of the cargo was children and females. If we only did, there were 22% children. If we only did the females, only 14% of those people were females. Who's making all the slaves if there's only 26,000? 26,000 females. Because again, when the females were coming over, they had to acclimate to they're riding on a boat for 3 months, which is going to knock your system totally out of whack. Okay, and most of the females, when they came over, they were not able to bear children. How are they going to be making all these slaves that were in the United States? Who were these people who were making all of these babies to provide slaves for the United States? And the United States was the only place where we were making our slaves here. That's why the numbers are much smaller, because we were growing our own slaves right here. But who were the people that they were using? They were utilizing the indigenous people here. They were utilizing the indigenous people here. How else could they come up with these large numbers?
They need to understand, and if they go into the Catholic archives here in America, they will find out that in the 60s and the 50s, what they call black and African American, and African American didn't come along back then, they were saying Afro, but according to the U.S. Census records, you were listed as a Negro Indian. Black folks don't like to read. Go read the congressional records. I don't get information from authors. I go to the source.
Not that many people were brought here from Africa as slaves on any slave ship. Some of our people were captured here and enslaved here, tricked into servitude and tricked out of their properties through these servitudes, but it was not slavery as you know it today, or you think you know it.
Travel safely.
Stay safely. Ready?
Get up. Mr. Northup, I have 2 gentlemen whose acquaintance you should make, Messrs. Brown and Hamilton.
Sir?
Mr. Northup, these 2 gentlemen were inquiring about distinguished individuals, and I was just this very moment saying Solomon Northup.
If we could persuade you to accompany us as far as Washington, we could give you $1 for each day's services and $3 for every night plated out performances. In addition, we will provide sufficient pay for your return here to Saratoga.
Welcome to Washington, Solomon.
Solomon, $43 all to you.
That is far more than my wages amount to.
It's been a most profitable week.
Cheers.
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 Another.
Oh.
Hamilton, we must hurry. We won't. Let him sleep, Hamilton. Hamilton, there's nothing more we can do for him.
Well, boy, how you feel now?
My name is Solomon Northup. I'm a free man, a resident of Saratoga, New York, the residence of my wife and children who are equally free, and you have no right whatsoever to detain me.
You're not any free
And
man.
I promise you upon my liberation, I will have satisfaction for this wrong.
Resolve this. Produce your papers. You're no free man. And you ain't from Saratoga. You're from Georgia. You ain't a free man. You're nothing but a Georgia runaway. You're just a runaway nigger. Runaway nigger.
Another word I'm going to give you, the word nigger, N-I-G-G-E-R. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, 2003 edition, third entry, nigger. And basically they talk about dark-complexioned people anywhere, but then they go on to say, in U.S. use, actually in early U.S. use, it applied to American Indians, usually derogatory.
There were more people brought from here to Africa, and from here to Europe, and from South America to North America, and from South and North America to the Caribbean islands and so on, and back again, and that kind of thing.
Tell him some of my men are staying here to build the fort. I want them to be well treated. Tell him we'll come back, many of us.
He said how many?
As many as the leaves on that tree. And many more will follow.
Why?
To bring the word of God.
He said he has a God.
Tell him we admire his people.
He knows you like his women and gold.
Eaten up by a fever that refuses to leave his body, we must return to Spain.
Christi, maneat semper, maneat semper, maneat semper.
Saint Mary of the Good Winds was the patron saint of navigators and a favorite of Columbus. This altar painting dates from shortly after Columbus died and features what's considered the first and most accurate portrait of the great explorer on the left. It's also thought to be the first painting of Indians done in Europe.
Here's some other books that you might like, but you don't have to take my word for it.